Welcome to Super Sunday, the OSBA Game of the Week on OSBA TV as Hodan Prep takes on CTA Gold. Aaron Sanders on the call. Glad that you're joining us. Hope you're staying warm. Hodan Prep comes into this game with a 5-8 record, or fresh off a win against Lincoln Prep a few nights ago. CTA Gold playing the second game of a back-to-back. They lost to Ridley last night by the tune of 93-80. And they start the game with the ball. Pass down deep to Anthony Anajafor, and he gets the easy hook to go. Anajafor, the class of 2026 this year, averaging 14 points per game coming into this week. Hodan not wasting any time. Here's Dante Jones from outside, and he puts it there. St. Jones, to the All-Canadian Games nominee, gets the scoring goals. One of the few members last year's Hodan team that lost to Ridley last year. There's a turnover, and the Hawks are on the move. Olivier Desjardins puts it up and in. An easy look for 8-10. 5-2 in favor of Hodan Prep. Really into the game. Glad you're joining us here on OSBA TV. Quick look from Jeremy Mugurwa. 3 from outside. Doesn't hit. And back comes Dante Jones. Jones, number 37 last year. This year, he's number 0. Tries to send it down to Ian McBride. Shot to the corner pocket, doesn't go. And the Anajafor pulls down a rebound. Transfer from Shawi Prep this season. Goes for the hook again. Off the mark. Back comes Jalen St. Pinnock on the move for the Hawks. Jason Morris Blair to Dante again. Go back CTA Gold way. CTA Gold, 6-4 record this year in the OSBA East. Being coached by Tony House, who's made a lot of room on his trophy case last year. Here's the move from Ben Fofana. And he will shoot 2. Fofana coming into this week, shooting 72% from the foul line. Free throw bounces in. CTA Gold wrapping up their season on the road. Started out with Ridley College yesterday, the defending OSBA men champions. Lost by 13. And then later on in the week, they will play against Code Academy and in Orangeville. It is 5-4 in favor of Hodan. They have the ball. Jones fakes on the 3. Looking to locate St. Pinnock, but takes it in himself. Spins around. Shot clock reads 8. Dribble drive. Morris Blair to McBride, pops up for a 3. That goes off the side, and it's pulled down by Mugurwa. Mugurwa averaging 4 rebounds this season. Here's the move. They were asking for a travel, will not get it. Mikey Agamon, one of the holdovers from last year's Trillium champions, CTA Red. Here's the spot up, and it doesn't work. Pushing foul results into free throws. Committed by Ian McBride. Second team foul from Hodan. Anthony Anajafor, a great story from him. Transfer from Shawi Prep, knocks down the first free throw. Graduates this year. And one of the many members of the All-Canadians, which will take place later on in the season. The CTA came into this week and averaging close to 84 points per game. And Anajafor goes 2 for 2, and they get their first lead of the game. Played more than 2.5 minutes into this ball game. And this game of the week on OSBA TV. Desjardins gets the rock back. Upstairs, Dante Jones. Jones looking to maneuver. Shot clock late. Jones stops, pops. And it goes off the guide wire, and that counts as out of bounds. Hodan Prep making some changes as Luke Vandersar and Elijah Bell Haynes checks in. Vandersar, one of the many players that was part of the Hodan team that fell short to Ridley in the championships last year. Handful of newcomers for the squad this year. And Ejiofor, low block. Backs down Desjardins and unable to get the fadeaway. Bell Haynes locates Desjardins, and it's up top to Dante Jones. 3, rimming no good. And Ejiofor, another rebound. He's been the bully of the boards all season long, averaging 10.3. Here's Mikey Agamon, the Trillium champion, knocks down the triple, and it's 9-5, CTA. Won the Trillium championship with head coach Tony House. They transferred to the OSBA men's division this year. Spot-up J goes down for Ollie Desjardins, and it's a timeout quickly called by Tony House and CTA Gold. 6:12 to go in the opening quarter. A red-hot start. CTA Gold, slow start for them, but they're bouncing back. They're up 9-7 as we take timeout for this. CTA Gold, a 6-4 record in the OSBA East, will come out of the timeout with the rock. And most of their scoring has come from Anthony Ejiofor, averaging a double-double this season. And they have help from Mikey Agamon, who was part of the Trillium Championship CTA team a year ago. Ejiofor up top as they go down low to the aforementioned Agamon. That's an easy look for Mikey. 11-7 is the score as we played more than 4 minutes into this contest. Jones double pumps, gets his own rebound. Loose ball on the floor. It's a tie-up. Possession arrow, Hodan. Bounce pass goes underneath the Van der Sar, who draws contact. 2 free throws on the way for him. Van der Sar, 50% foul shooter. And a season ago, he did not make any free throws, so a good difference for him. Maybe Gass and Keenan Kanku will check in for CTA. 11-7, that's the score. First free throw up and in, Van der Sar. Second one, rimming no good, and it's picked up by Zach Donaldson, Downer. 3 in the corner, doesn't fall. And here comes Ibi Gass, getting his first rebound since he came off the bench. Give and go, Jeremy Mugarwa on the lob, and the donut missed the coffee this time around. Bell Haynes not wasting any time going into the forecourt. 3-pointer, splish splash catch for Zach Downer. Zach Downer, many D1 offers for him. And he was visit Clemson last weekend, so he's keeping his options open as he knocks down the 3. And Ejiofor bounces back, 14-11 in favor of CTA Gold. Hodan Prep looking for their first winning streak of the season. Here's the teardrop, nothing there for Bell Haynes. Both teams rushing up the floor, not wasting any time. Ibi Gass on the bounce pass. 2 passes later, it's Kanku. Kanku fades away over Downer and hits it. halfway into the first. Jones locates Kaselia. You do not want to blink because you will miss all the action here in the OSBA. Back-to-back threes. Ooh, and Murguerwa drives through everybody and gets the layup. Two-score game. Zach Donaldson Downer. Toe-to-toe with Agamon. Puts the footwork on, cuts in from the left side, leaves it up for Desjardins. He doesn't get the fade. And out dribble Gas. Gerwa. Back to Gas. Calls glass. Doesn't get it. Van der Sar, another board. Both teams doing well, not going for fouls. And Van der Sar was looking for the putback. Basket will not go. Couple of subs checking in. Cassius Buckley will get his first taste of the floor today. It's been a back and forth affair since the start of the game. Pass intended for Elijah and it goes off the foot of one of the blue shirts. He's 23 to go. Bounce pass coming from Murguerwa. Agamon up top, taking on Van der Sar. Dances, fires, doesn't score. And Elijah, big rebound, draws the foul again. That will go on Desjardins. Tony House continuing to make some changes. Bonner returns along with Sonny Joseph. Bounces in again. This is the second game of a back-to-back for CTA Gold. They lost to Ridley yesterday. They're currently on a 2-game losing streak. The second time they have done that in the season. They started out the season winning 6 of their first 8 games. Second one, splash. 20-14 in favor of CTA Gold. 3:10 to go in the opening period. Here's Buckley on the pass to Van der Sar. As they leave it for Zach Donaldson Downer, a mismatch as he goes toe-to-toe with Joseph. Trio of subs now checking in for Hodan. Jalen St. Pennock leading it. One more foul for Hodan will put them over the limit. CTA Gold only has 2. Just under the 3-minute mark. Splitting through Buckley. They don't give it to him. They go downstairs for Ethan Basic. He's unable to drop that one. CTA definitely pushing the pressure down low in the post. Fofana, another All-Canadian Games nominee this year. Taking on St. Pennock. Elijah going long range, doesn't hit that one. Back out of there, St. Pennock. The 3, that goes. Owen Prep bouncing back. They had the lead for the first couple of minutes, but CTA Gold started to bounce back, and it's because of this player, Anthony Elijah, who's unable to hit the 3 ball. During the season, he shoots over 50%. Another catch and shoot. That doesn't go down. A lot of presence being known by CTA Gold on the box out. Elijah running like a bullet train. Goes for the lob underneath. And that will go for Sonny Joseph, and he gets on the scoreboard. Pass the basic as he leaves it for Cassius Buckley. Doesn't cash in on the triple. Cancun was asking for the ball the moment they got the rebound. And the full forecourt Fofana. Now Cancun gets the rock. Doesn't get it from the corner. 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. CTA Gold 22. Hodan Prep 17. Hodan with a different set of players opposed to last year when they went all the way to the championship. And the three-point rage continues to go down as they are now down by 2. Fofana, met by the pressure of St. Pinnock, put on that master lock defense right away. Vergara and Agamon returns. Tony House making quick changes as we're in the final moments of the first. Fofana goes near side. Quick pass to Ibigas. Ibigas drawing contact. That may go on basic, and it is. 57 seconds to go. It's another trip of the foul line. Ibigas, the class of 2027. Shoots close to 60% of the foul line, but he misses his first. Hodan Prep over the limit the rest of the way. CTA Gold done an exceptional job of staying out of foul trouble. They only have 2. Gas misses both. St. Pinnock. Good ball movement has been Fofana. Takes on the defensive task. Fadeaway J, nothing there. And a player is down, Mikey Agamon. He is holding on to his ankle. And that's not a good sign. We'll take a step aside. Hodan Prep and CTA Gold exchanging buckets in the first 9.5 minutes of action. Scores 22-20, but there is some concern with Mikey Agamon going down with what appears to be a lower body injury. Hopefully it will be all right and be able to come back into the game in the next few moments. But in the meantime, it is Anthony and Ejiofor called for too many steps. They lose possession. It's been a tight game so far. Both clubs exchanging buckets. And Hodan Prep could either tie it up or go for the lead with a triple. St. Pinnock splitting to the lane and was looking for an extra pass, but that goes beyond the fingertips. And it's Murgerwa bringing it up the floor. Final possession possibly for CTA Gold for this quarter. St. Pinnock playing tough defense, flustering Murgerwa, and he gets the foul. Jeremy Murgerwa from Gatineau, Quebec will shoot 2. He's been around Canada the last few years. Played for Ottawa Elite and Gatineau Elite. Described as a playmaker and a shot maker. He's had plenty of touches in the first quarter. First free throw off the mark. Incidentally, Hodan Barnes just checked in for Hodan. Free throw number 2 is good for Magera. 23-20, final 7 seconds to play. Wide open look, nice splitting drive. Outside, 3-ball, Basic, put her there. And that's how you want to end the first quarter. Ethan Basic making it simple from beyond the arc. We are tied at 23. You're watching the OSBA Game of the Week from Hodan Prep. Back for the second quarter, we're tied up at 23 between CTA Gold and Hodan Prep. Aaron Sanders on OSBA TV, the top scorer so far for Hodan Prep is Zach Donaldson Downer, who has 6 points, all of them coming from three-point land. And for CTA, Anthony Anijafor leading the way with 9 points. Flawless from the foul line, but 2 for 10 in shooting. And a quick check and foul from Hodan Barnes. You're just joining us. CTA Gold down a man when Mikey Agamon had a lower body injury late in the first quarter. We'll see if he will return. And Anijafor spins away and drills it. It was an early lead for Hodan, and then CTA Gold played the mid-range pretty well and held on to lead for most of the first quarter before Basic knocked down the triple to tie it up. So CTA gets the rock again. This is a team that will end the regular season on the road. They'll play Code Academy on Wednesday, and then next Wednesday after that, we'll play against Orangeville Prep on the road. And Barnes unable to put the clamps down on the rebound. Gus Giannopoulos also digging deep in his bench. Dante Jones checking back in. Same with Jason Morris-Blair. Cassius Buckley having a seat. And Anijafor, open lane, smothered by McBride. Fake from Gass as he gets a lot of real estate. Doesn't follow through on the triple. Dante Jones gets the board. Played a minute in the second. The Hawks down by a couple. And that pass is stripped away. Nice hands from Jeremy Magera. Gass running out of gas. Magera looking to finish it off, but was met by a sea of blue shirts. Dante Jones and Hodan with numbers. Unable to get that to drop. Ian McBride puts it back in with the baby hook. And we're squared at 25. Fourth lead change and a big rejection. Block party hosted by Ian McBride. Down the other end, Jones, the finger roll. And the Hawks back up top. Strong way to start the second quarter. The transition game working out for Hodan Prep in the last couple of trips. Here is Gatz, smothered by Basic as he looks for help. No call there. Fofana doesn't get that one. Here's the lead pass. McBride looking to shine in the lane. Barnes. No PAR action this time. They head to the corner pocket. Basic. Put her there. Not only he knocked down the triple to tie things up at the end of one, but he helps expand the Hawk lead much more. Lead pass, Charles Tung, who's getting his first minutes this afternoon, averaging close to 9 a game. Here's Magera, three-point territory, Shazam. Under pressure, CTA Gold is able to get a clean shot off. Barnes cutting in right side. Lead pass, and the three-point rage continues. Maybe snowing here in Thornhill, but inside, Hodan Prep making it rain. Triple, Magera doesn't get the same result. Jones surveying the floor. The front side blows by Gas. And Gas will be called for the foul. Joseph and Cancun coming back in. Once again, Mikey Agamon still on the bench after sustaining an injury late in the first. Tony House playing with 3 reserves this afternoon. But with Agamon out for the time being, it's only 2. Here is Jones, back to Desjardins. Jones taking charge, shot from the key, way off. And an IQ move from Hodan Barnes as he throws it off the leg of one of CTA's players. More than 3.5's gone by in the second. Hodan Prep with the lead yet again. Tip in, doesn't go. Heartbreak City for Morris Blair. Magera surging through the other end. Double team applied. They stay with CTA. Niger 4 looking to check back in. Got underneath. Nothing there. There's a foul. Again, top scorer so far. CTA has Anthony and Niger 4 leading the way with 11. And Hodan has 2 players with 6. That is Basic and Donaldson Downer. Sonny Joseph's first free throw. And that clanks out. Once again, fans, we're in the home stretch of the OSBA season, and join us on March 6th through the 8th for championship weekend. Putback is good for a Niger 4. Make that 13. And another player is down, and this time it's Jason Morris Blair. He will tighten up his shoe. And as I do that once again, OSBA championships coming up very soon in less than a month. Jason Morris Blair is all right. They'll all take place on the weekend of March 7th and the 8th from the Toronto Sports Pan Am Center. And OSBA TV will be on location with all the games. See who will win the men's, women's, and Trillium championships the first week of March. So join us, why don't you? Late in the shot clock, and then Nijafor just snatches it out of midair. Snags up the loose ball. Fofana locates Cancun for the trifecta. And that's a quick timeout from Gus Giannopoulos. Hodan was up by 5 in the early goings in the second quarter, but CTA Gold, with a short bench, is crawling back. Well, CTA Gold, they may have a short bench, but they have come crawling back after being down by as much as 5 to start the second quarter. Their transition game really stepping up, but that comes to an end with Ollie Desjardins knocking it from three-point land to make it 36-33. Hodan becoming more comfortable from beyond the arc since the final 2 minutes of the first. Lead pass to Joseph. Fofana splitting through to the lane. Bounces off the glass. And a quick foul from Cancun. Both teams with 2 fouls. We approach the halfway mark of the second. 36-33 is the score. And Fofana will have a seat. And Mikey Agamon comes back on the floor, and that's a good sign after he sustained a lower body injury late in the first. We'll see if his presence will make a huge difference for CTA Gold. 3 doesn't fall for Jones. Vergara circles back beyond the arc. Cancun with muscle and hustle, and he gets the deuce. So Cancun with the hoop and the harm, he will shoot 1. Cancun played prep basketball, believe it or not, in North Carolina in one season for Bull City Prep as he drills the and 1. So from North Carolina to here in Ontario, he continues his basketball career. In and out dribble, sidestep, teardrop. Elijah Bell Haynes, sweet string music for him as he regains the lead for the Hawks. Vergara being vocal as all the CTA players went up the other end. Yeah, nowhere else to go. Vergara going coast to coast with the most. And we're back to a tie. Cassius Buckley, short. It's an interdivision matchup. Hodan Prep representing the OSBA West, CTA Gold of the OSBA East. Nijafor having trouble with Desjardins. Desjardins signed up for the task and knew when it comes to a Nijafor, That's going to be a huge task to not only back him down, but to outwit him on the way to the rack. And Desjardins will have a rest. McBride will return. Pass going down deep for Elijah 4. And McBride swats it back. We've seen a couple of blocks from Hodan Prep as they continue to show their presence below the basket. Shot clock reading 9. Elijah 4. Met by the triple team, and he still got it to go. 40-38 in favor of CTA Gold. Jones out to McBride. Too strong. Fake out to Bell Haynes. Over to Donaldson Downer, who continues to deliver the damage from beyond. One of the top scorers so far in the game. Nogueira with a reverse pass, and it ends up with Agamon missing it, pulled down and put back in. Cancu for 2. Bell Haynes in traffic and will draw the foul. And CTA will get Fofana and Tung to check back in. Joseph and Nogueira will sit. A handful of All-Canadian Games nominees taking the floor today. That includes Bell, Haynes, Buckley, and Jones and McBride on CTA's case. Fofana, Gao, and Niger 4. Another tie ball game, 42 all, with under 3 minutes to go until halftime. Been a good one so far. Hodan led by as much as 5 to start the second quarter, but CTA Gold has delivered the pressure, and maybe the fortune's about to turn here. Donaldson Downer plays it to Buckley. Buckley gets away from inside, works his way right back in, and it will stay with Hodan Prep. Again, a different roster for Hodan. Only a few players have returned from last year's squad that went all the way to the championships. Fell short against Ridley, and which was one of the classic games in OSBA history. And there's been plenty of them in the 10-year history of the OSBA. We have a timeout here. We're tied at 42. There are 2 players in double-digit figures for CTA Gold, and Anthony Anijafor is one of them. And again, with a short bench for Tony House and company, only 3 reserves compared to Hodan's 6. They're still holding their ground. Shot clock goes off. That was after the buzzer. So it's a 24 violation. Tied at 42. We had about 7 ties in this ball game as we approach halftime. Once again, a good sign to see Mikey Agamon. Fell down, rolled an ankle late in the first quarter, and it doesn't look like it's phased him one bit as he puts the pressure on Donaldson Downer, the leading scorer for Hodan Prep, as he bounces off the mark for 3. And Niger 4 dumps it over, and now it's Fofana. Fofana Downstairs, Cancun follows up on the rebound and puts it in. Stands his ground and regains the lead for CTA Gold. Downer looked for the finger roll and instead gets the foul. And Ethan Basic checking back in. Warmed up late in the first quarter. Knocked down the three ball to tie things up at 23. And it's Downer who gets the first one to drop in. Now Donaldson Downer, his game has been compared to Tyreek Evans. Then again, if you think about it, he did hit a half-court shot against Fort Erie earlier this year. If you remember, if Tyreek hit that big three at the buzzer against Memphis back in 2011, that's how you could compare his game. Shot choices and mobility is how they compare him. Nice fake out option, Fofana, finger roll or skyhook, no good for Anajafor, but he still bullies his way to the bucket. Somehow, some way, he was able to snag it and put it back down the twine. 3-point lead, CTA Gold with the final minute to play before halftime. And Anajafor pleading his case to one of the officials, but they won't hear any of it. Throwing from Dante Jones. And Sang Pennett's jersey was not tucked in, so he'll have to return to the scores table. Jones to Zach. Off the glass, nothing there. 3-point lead for CTA Gold. They'll try to expand it to a 2-score lead. 3 ball, Agamon. And the rebound pulled down. Quick pass ahead. Jones on the reverse. That's a beauty. Transition game strong for Hodan Prep. CTA Gold had that advantage to start the second. Cancun dumps it down. And the shot clock's dead for the final 20 seconds of the second. 48-45, CTA Gold ahead. Jones taking his time, met by Cancun. Game clock 8. Donaldson Downer ahead, 3 ball for the tie. Too strong, ball batted around, and with 2/10 to go, it will be Hodan Prep. Catch and shoot, that's all they could do right now. Also Downer, throw it in. They'll go downstairs, tip in, and they will not count it. Ball was in his hands at 0-0, so it will not go. Heartbreak City for Hodan Prep, and CTA Gold breathes a sigh of relief. They're up 48-45. The transition game strong for Hodan Prep, but CTA showing that they have the presence downstairs. We will take a step aside. We'll be back in less than 10 minutes for the call of the second half. Live from Thornhill, it's the OSBA Men's Game of the Week. You're tuned in to the OSBA Game of the Week, Super Sunday. And while a lot of people are asking the question, Patriots or Seahawks, the question now is who's going to win this one, CTA Gold or Hodan Prep? It's been a close one so far. CTA Gold leads 48-45. And remember, they're on the back end of a back-to-back after losing to Ridley 93-80 last night. Hodan Prep had a couple of nights off after defeating Lincoln Prep 106-93. And they start the third quarter with the ball. Aaron Sanders on the call from Hodan. Hodan could have been down by only one, but the tip-in did not go as the ball was in their hands at 0-0 before the break. CTA Gold again playing with a short bench. That's been their story this season, and it almost got more shorter when Mikey Agamon went down with an ankle injury, but he has bounced back since then. There's a strip by Jones. Jones will take it all by himself. Missed the reverse. St. Pinnock on the outside. Nice fake out from Desjardins. No good. McBride smothered. Fires it. Tipped by Jones. Jones flew in, and the Hawks are now within one. Nogueira off the screen. And he's stopped in his tracks as he leaves it up for Charles Tongue and doesn't get that one to go. Hodan Prep with Dante Jones with 7 points at the end of the first half. Couldn't add two more. Two players in double digits for CTA, and one of them being Keenan Cancu, who just left it for Fofana, who misses it from outside. A close game so far, 7 ties. Hodan led by as many as 5, but CTA Gold has shown their dominance up front. And Hodan Prep, they've had their guards take over for the majority of the game. Top scorer for Hodan Prep, Zach Donaldson Downer with 10 points, most of them coming from beyond the arc. But it's the bigs taking over for CTA Gold. Ben Fofana splits through the defense and puts it down. 23 all at the end of one. 48-45 in favor of CTA Gold. Triple, way off for Morris Blair. Charles Tongue was the only one ahead of the pack off of the fast break, but he goes back to the three-point line. Fofana getting by St. Pinnock, double pumps and puts it down. 52-47. And Elijah Bell-Haynes sent to check in for Hodan Prep on the next dead ball. Ollie to St. Pinnock. Beautiful spin move and the finish. Picture perfect. Nobody on the left side, so he took his chances and put it in. Nogueira all alone, hits glass. Jones back from St. Pinnock. 3 ball, nothing. Ball regained by Morris Blair, a strong rebound. McBride takes it to the paint and gets it down. That was pretty. Back-to-back scores for Hodan Prep. They're down by the slimmest of all possible deficits. That's one. Double team, master lock defense. Almost working out. Jones stripping it away, and it was last touched by Hodan Prep. And Dante Jones, strong. He's a strong player, but the way he hustled on the floor to pick up the loose ball took some of the wind out of him. CTA Gold with Ejiofor asking for the rock. He had 17 points at break time. He's looking for 19. Doesn't get it on the missed fadeaway. Desjardins pulls it up. Going deep is Jones. McBride smothered. and takes the hard foul. Ethan Basic coming back in. Hit a key three to tie things up at the end of one. Down low, McBride. Doesn't knock that one down. Basic down to the key. And Jones met at the rack. Ben Fofana, wide open look, a good one, but goes off the heel. Picked up by Desjardins. Hodan Prep holding their ground on the rebound game. And it's Desjardins, the board and the triple. Taking care of business on both sides of the floor as Hodan regains the lead for the first time since the early stages of the second. Aguirre met by Jones. Doesn't get away from him. Charles Tung trying to match his jersey number, but that goes off the mark. On the move, Elijah Bell Haynes. That's a hard acre. And CTA continues to dominate down deep. Tied at 54. We played more than halfway in the third quarter. No dice for Desjardins. Second chance coming up for the Hawks. And it's Basic will try it, and it rattles down. Ethan Basic, who usually averages 5 points per game, he's beyond his average today with a couple of triples. He has a total of 7. Fofana in the corner and finds Ejiofor, who bounces back. He now has 20, the 9th tie of the ball game. Bell Haynes gets the handoff from McBride, and it hits the bleachers and out of bounds it goes. Tony House making a couple of changes, being led by Mikey Agamon. Incidentally, we send congratulations to Tony House, who was inducted to the 2025 Nepean Sports Wall of Fame. Now, I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that he had to make a lot of room in his trophy case, and that's because of the Wall of Fame induction and the Trillium Championship he won with CTA in the Trillium Division a year ago. Agamon in trouble. Aguirre bails him out, sidesteps with the left hand and gets it in. This is a tight one. Super Sunday, super matchup. Jones near the foul line on the mismatch. 2 passes later, it is Ollie, no 3. And Desjardins gets the rock back. Takes it to the rack, finds Dante Jones, misses it from the corner. .309 to go in the third. Good third quarter, back and forth buckets. Oh, and it was almost went down, and they're going to count the bucket. So they'll make it 61-57. Or perhaps they disallowed the basket. Nonetheless, Fofana hung on to the rim as it goes down, and now they count it. 61-57 is the score. And Gus Giannopoulos saying, wait a minute, it shouldn't be a basket. So hold your horses, everybody. We're back to 59-57. There was offensive basket interference, so that's not going to fly. We all got it done at the end of the day. We got it right. 59-57, under 3 to go in the third. Desjardins heating up. McBride fakes a Ejiofor. Big battle, big 3. Ian McBride shining by far. 60-59. Hodan Prep back ahead. And here's Ibigas. Tough fadeaway. And a stronger finish as he gets it down over Basic. Crossover dribble, long three, shazam. Back-to-back triples, 63-61. Bufana asking for a pick upstairs. He gets it from Agamon, doesn't go far. Agamon, three ball, put her there. Had a little bit of contact, but nonetheless, it appears that his ankle's all right. Nice spin move and a loose ball picked up by Gas. CTA Gold with the rock. Nogueira leads it off, and Niger for tough hook. Doesn't work out for him. Desjardins hooked up as he was gaining entry inside. He's a little shaken up on the play, and one of the top scorers for Hodan Prep is checking back in, Zach Donaldson Downer. Luke Vandersar a little too eager to check back in, but a little too late as he forgot to tuck his jersey in. Second time we've seen that, and the three-point rage is going splashingly well. Hodan Prep ahead 66-64. They are feeling it from outside. Gas had second thoughts, and Agamon unable to get that one to drop. Donaldson Downer quieted in the third quarter. They did not need all of his scoring in this one because it's been Basic and Desjardins leading the way. Big rebound by Ibi Gas. Nogueira taking charge into the front court. Agamon, the fake, the drive as he flings one up, and it will be two free throws coming up for him. It appears that Agamon re-aggravated the ankle that he tweaked earlier in the game, but he will stay on for the time being. He will have a chance to tie things up. Handful of ties this afternoon. Here's the first, that's good. He makes it look so easy. Graduating this year from the capital city. And he ties it up at 66. Shot clock, game clock, a second difference. Donaldson Downer having trouble. Down to 10. Behind the back dribble. The three doesn't go this time. Rebound pulled down by Nogueira, and he will hold it off to wrap up the third quarter. And we're back to where we started. We're tied up at 66, and this presentation of the OSBA Game of the Week will continue in Thornhill in just a moment. Back live on OSBA TV, tied at 66. And you couldn't ask for a better game of the week. Interdivision matchup between Hodan and CTA Gold, tied at 66. We could be in for a thrilling finish. Here's Ibby Gas from outside. That doesn't go. And Nijafor pulling through with another rebound. Second chance coming up for CTA Gold. They're late in the shot clock, down to 3. They're looking for the law to a Nijafor. Boy, howdy, did he play leapfrog. That's an offensive foul. He went over the back of one of Hodan's players. Well, never mind. It will be CTA ball. CTA ball again. Start of the fourth quarter. 3-ball, Agamon off the mark. Ball patted and it's taken by Basic. Strong three-point game from Isaiah Bell Haynes, who's pulled up on 4 triples. He has the ball now. Changes his mind, good decision, gets close and gets it down right between the eyes to make it 69-66. 5 3-balls for Isaiah. Hodan very confident from beyond the arc today. Fofana feeling it. That bounces off the left side. Another look. Fofana stumbles and absorbs the foul. That time it'll be on Ethan Basic. Good game so far at the end of 3. CTA was led by Anthony Nijafor, who has a total of 20. Can't make it 3 more. Loose ball on the floor. And it was last touched by Hodan Prep on the tangle up. And Jalen Sang-Pinnock will check back in. Hodan was led by Donaldson Downer and Jones, Donaldson Downer and Desjardins, who had 10 points, but Isaiah Bell Haynes is leading the way with a handful of 3 balls. 2 on the shot clock. Gas lets it fly, and he is fouled right at the horn. The correction, it's an offensive foul on Gas, as he appeared to kick his feet out on the 3-pointer. We're in the fourth quarter, the OSBA game of the week. Bodies hitting the floor. And it's Fofana who trips Dante Jones. And Ben can't believe it. Bounce pass ahead, McBride. McBride, few good buckets from him in the mid-range. Jones takes his own nice strip. Agamon almost took it away. Shot clock now reads 3. A long shot. That doesn't go down. Huge rebound, Desjardins. Everybody's flying all over the place, and it's taken back. Cancun on the steal, and it's an offensive foul. Things aren't going CTA Gold's way as they're using too much aggression on the transition game, in which they have yet to dominate in this game so far. Coach Giannopoulos shouting out instructions. We played 2 minutes in the fourth. McBride with the move and the finish. He says, I'll take on that challenge. Pound for pound, he wins that battle. Hodan back up by 5. That matches their largest lead today. Fofana to the hoop, and it's put down by Cancun. Cancun called his spot on that last play, kickball. Again, Hodan Prep coming into this game with a 5-8 record out of the OSBA West. They took care of business against Lincoln Prep here a few nights ago, 106-93, snapping a 2-game losing streak. And CTA Gold, final game of a back-to-back after losing to the defending OSBA men champions, the Ridley College Tigers, 93-80. CTA Gold has had a 2-game losing streak early in the season. They're looking to break that up. The tip and jam somehow goes in. And that is Dante Jones putting it through. Double team applied by Hodan, and you could hear them in the background. That makes for good defense. But a Niger 4 tried a 3. That doesn't fly. Hodan becoming more vocal and aggressive on the defensive side, but it's all for naught with Charles Tung knocking down the trifecta. Here's Isaiah Bell Haynes again, has a handful of 3 balls. And Desjardins does not answer the call. Second chance coming up for the Hawks. Isaiah off the mark. Somebody had a piece of it. Vergara in traffic, a little too strong for him. And he is fouled. Two shots coming up for Jeremy Vergara, another one of the players that have traveled far to play for this prestigious CTA program. Emanating from Gatineau, Quebec, played for Ottawa Elite and Gatineau Elite. Known to be a shot maker, but the way he's been driving to the basket, he could be a threat in the backcourt as we approach the final stages of the regular season. First free throw bounces off. Came into this week shooting 61% at the foul line. Graduating this year. Second free throw is good. 73-72, Hodan ahead. Cassius Buckley returns. Both teams with 3 fouls. We played 4 minutes in the fourth. Morris Blair leaves it off to Desjardins. Jones having trouble. Fofana locking down on him. Here is Desjardins for 3. No good. And it's picked up by Fofana. And it's a timeout called by Hodan Prep, and the way the last few minutes have gone, I think it's best for everybody to take a breather. We'll take a timeout here. 73-72, Hodan Prep ahead. A close one here at Hodan Prep as they have a 73-72 lead. CTA looking to bounce back and snap a 2-game losing streak. They won 6 of their first 8 games, and they will wrap up the season on the road. Shot put back in by Ben Fofana, who's been very active here in the second half. Buckley leads it off to McBride. McBride pounds the rock to the floor and has that snatched by Agamon. Agamon playing with an aggravated ankle, which he tweaked late in the first quarter. He's down in the post, goes for the rebound, can't put it in. And Fofana, even though he's playing aggressively, that doesn't fare out for him on the defensive side. He's picked up a couple of fouls in the backcourt trying to stop one of Hodan's best, and which is Dante Jones. Prior to this week, he's averaged 18 points a game while shooting 53% from the field. It's been hard to stop him. He's had a couple of three balls. Same with McBride, and he continues. Ian McBride, who played for Team Ontario in the U17 Nationals a couple of years ago, showing why he's among one of Ontario's elite. 76-74, the 4:30 mark in the fourth frame. Fofana playing in foul trouble, goes behind the back, and it costs him. Dante Jones on the run. Jones stumbles. And Ben Fofana tried to take the ball from him right in midcourt, but that cost him. And it'll be another timeout, this time from Hodan Prep. They're out of timeouts, I think, the rest of the way with 4:19 to go. Fofana picked up a handful of fouls in the fourth quarter alone, so losing him could cause a problem. He was one of the keys for CTA Gold when it came down to ball movement, but his aggression really made him pay the price in the last couple of times. One foul in the backcourt, one foul once Hodan Prep reached the midcourt line. And he has 8 points. 3 of 8 is shooting. Top scorer again. And Ejiofor with 20 points. But has not fared well in field goal territory, going 7 of 22. CTA Gold behind 76-74. Both of these teams shooting close to 83, 84 points per game. And with CTA Gold losing to Ridley College, they come into this contest shooting 82 a game. Hodan Prep, 84 points per game. And it's been pretty close. They're close to their averages right now. CTA out of fouls to give. Next foul from Hodan Prep will put them in the penalty. And it's Dante Jones who will line up for 2 shots. And Jones's rainbow doesn't go. It goes 0 for 2 on the trip. Ball is poked in the air, and Magera picks his spot and gets the rebound. And Ejiofor with more than 20. The air ball collected by McBride. And here's Jones as he slows it down as he passes the half-court line. Doesn't give it to McBride, but he gives it up to Basic instead. Put her there. The three-pointers have been a huge key for Hodan Prep today. And keep in mind, once they get that extra pass down, they know who they're giving it to. They're giving it to Basic. Magera met by Buckley. Gets away from the Agaman screen. Still takes him on. Tough take. And the 2. It's back to a three-point game. But Jones is not wasting any time. McBride, nice fake, and he gets tripped up by Cancun. Free throw's good. You could hear the clank from the backside of the rim. It's 80-76. Hodan scored 106 against Lincoln Prep in their last game. They averaged 84 coming into today, and they're close to that. It's back to a 5-point game. No full court pressure applied by Gus Giannopoulos' squad. Nogueira trying to breeze by Buckley. Gets a nice screen from Anija 4. The corner three, no good. And Anija 4 saves the day. Almost went for the reverse, doesn't go down. And he gets the jam, and they'll count it in a foul. If you want to see a prime example of polished paintwork, Anija 4 just proved that. Fighting hard to get the offensive rebound, missed his reverse jam, and still fought for the ball and put it down with a two-handed flush. Now he's at the line again, looking to cut this deficit to 2, and he does. He has over 20 points for the day. He's the top scorer in the game of the week on OSBA TV. We're close to the OSBA Championships, which will take place at the beginning of March at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center. Basic, making it rain. He is unconscious and unfuego from outside. He is coming in clutch in this one. Dante Jones being a pest defensively, and Nogueira goes down in a heap. It's an offensive foul. No free throws coming up for Hodan Prep because of that. But they are in the driver's seat up by a couple of buckets. Here's a pass to Basic. Basic has that stripped. And Nogueira is the only one in the pack, goes to the hole, and will shoot 2. He's been taking a lot of contact in the last few trips. Both teams over the foul limit with 2:12 remaining. There's free throw. Easy. A tight game overall. And Nogueira knocks both of them down with ease as we approach the 2-minute mark in regulation. McBride with the screen. Jones dumps it down, and Jason Morris-Blair almost stuffed it. And he will shoot a pair. Here's Jason Morris-Blair, a 57% foul shooter throughout the year. And that clinks out. Last year, he played for the McGivney Magic, who won the YRAA championship in New York. Committed to Hodan Prep this season and is a nominee of the All-Canadian Games. Desjardins returning this time. He takes the spot of Morris-Blair. 85-81, that's the score. Hodan Prep beyond their point per game. CTA Gold looking to bounce back, but they've been having a tough fourth quarter. And it continues to get tougher with Desjardins holding his own for the rebound. Here is Jones, out to Desjardins, Ollie 3! And a technical foul on Desjardins after a little bit of activity after the triple. So CTA will get a technical shot and the rock with 1:31 to go. And it's Anthony Anija 4 who will take it. 3 fouls already for Ollie Desjardins. Crowd coming alive here in Thornhill, and the free throw goes in and out. CTA Gold trying to avoid their first 3-game losing streak of the year. This is the second game of a four-game road trip in which we'll wrap up their regular season. It's already a tough environment when you have to end your season on the road, but they look to upset Hodan Prep at home, but they're running out of time. Here's Cancun, the triple, bounces off. And Agamon, who's been playing with great intensity and great courage. Anijah Ford will try a three. That's off. McBride on the rebound. And Hodan's got to get it out of the backcourt before the 8-second violation, and it is an 8-second violation. A couple of CTA players were shouting that. CTA Gold, they may just have to get somebody to streak out from the side and get a quick two. And apply full court pressure after this one. Gus Giannopoulos pleading his case. And it's straight away to Magera. Taking a lot of time off the clock. Great double team. The fling doesn't go. And Dante Jones looking to put the icing on the cake, and he is fouled by Magera. So the finalists from last year, using their bench and their extra passes to pull away from CTA. And those free throws doesn't go down, and the pass quickly goes to Tongue with 40 seconds to go. Magera will try another three. That is good. So Jeremy Magera makes it 88-84. Foul will send Dante Jones back to the foul line to shoot a pair. Super Sunday coming out. If Hodan Prep wins today, we'll have an interview with him afterwards. We'll try to get either Ethan Basic or Isaiah Bell Haynes, because they've been on fire from three-point land. And remember, it was Ethan Basic that tied it up at 23 at the end of one. But Hodan Prep definitely gelling when it comes to their shot choices and down the stretch too. Second free throw, rims no good. And another steal, a huge steal from Ethan Basic. One of the top three-point shooters in the game, coming up with a clutch steal, 89-84. First free throw good for Ian McBride. McBride's second, no good. And Desjardins fighting through and doesn't get the rebound. And Jalen St. Pinnock is called for the foul. Two free throws could keep CTA into this game, could make it still a two-score lead for Hodan Prep. First free throw up and in for Magera. And despite CTA playing with a small bench this season, they're asking for a lane violation. That will not go, and we'll take a timeout. Hodan Prep will have the ball. They are up 90-86. You have to imagine how Hodan Prep was able to be comfortable from three-point land all game long, because you have great shooters in Dante Jones, Ollie Desjardins, and Ethan Basic stepping out of their comfort zone and knocking it down. And mind you, they have the advantage in more than one ways, not only home court, but if you look at how deep the bench has been throughout the afternoon. They've been stepping up. They've had 5 wins this season. Started the season strong with a 94-86 victory on the road against Brampton City Prep. Won against Orangeville by 6 in early November. Took care of business against Polaris Prep 80-72. Huge win against Crestwood 94-89. That was a game where Ollie Desjardins knocked down 6 3-pointers and ended up with a total of 22. And then they took care of business against Lincoln Prep a few nights ago. Hodan Prep could be on the doorsteps of an upset. If they hold on to this lead, it is a 4-point game for them. Dante Jones will play it in. And it goes to McBride, who gets bear hugged immediately by Kanku. Morris Blair will check in for Sang Pinnock. First free throw doesn't go, so the next game for Hodan Prep will be on the 10th as they will play host to Orangeville. Afterwards, they'll head on the road to take on Royal Crown and wrap up the regular season against Polaris Prep. Gas returns for CTA. And McBride's second is good. And a timeout is called by CTA Gold. A 5-point lead, which has been one of the largest leads for Hodan this afternoon. And for a quick game recap, in the first, both clubs were exchanging buckets. We saw Mikey Agaman go down with an ankle injury with 35 seconds to go. And the first quarter ended with Ethan Basic knocking down a trifecta at the horn to tie things up at 23. And even though CTA has been short on the bench all year long, they bounced back off the transition, and they were led most of the way by Anthony Anijafor, who had 17 points at break time. But Hodan and Prep, we've seen their guards take over for most of the game. And it's Ian McBride who's the top scorer with 16 points. And Ethan Basic joining him with 15 points, all of them coming from outside. So 5 triples for Basic. Ethan Basic's season high was at the season opener against Brampton City. He had 24 points and 9 rebounds. 5 triples tonight. This OSBA Super Sunday coming to a close. It's been a tight one. Now Tung will play it in to Magera, who immediately goes to the basket for 2. No fouls from Hodan Prep, and the donut missed the coffee off of that one. And on the floor and on the dribble is Basic, who will look to wrap it up. They took plenty of time off the clock after the missed layup. And leave it to Basic to put it into this one. We may be talking to him afterwards. And the second one, good as gold. Quick roll on the floor. We'll shave off to save the clock a little bit. The CTA Gold will run out of time. And Hodan Prep comes up with a huge win against the CTA Gold. 93-86 is your final. And we will hear from Ethan Basic in just a moment. Hodan Prep using a huge fourth quarter to spur them into a big victory. They now move up to 6-8 for their record. CTA Gold dropping now to 6-5. They have had their first three-game losing streak of the year, losing to Crestwood at home in their home finale, losing to Ridley yesterday, and they fall to Hodan Prep here this afternoon. We will take a step aside and we will get Ethan Basic as our OSBA Player of the Game. And this Game of the Week coverage continues in just a moment. All right, back at Hodan Prep, the final score 93-86 in favor of Hodan Prep as they stand tall against the CTA Gold. Aaron Sanders joined by the OSBA Player of the Game, Ethan Basic. And I'll tell you, Ethan, that game wasn't basic. It was a nitty-gritty game, and that fourth quarter was one for the ages. How were you guys able to finish that strong down the stretch?
Thank you, man. Thank you. We were able to stay strong down the stretch by just sticking to what we've been talking about this whole season, playing simple basketball and having a lot of driving kicks on offense and staying connected on defense and ultimately grabbing a lot of defensive rebounds.
Defensively, we're strong, and offensively, you know, the three-pointers were just coming at you. I mean, how are you guys able to be confident from three-point land? And by the way, folks, guys, he dropped 5 three-pointers today. So how are you guys able to be confident from beyond the arc?
Hey, my teammates, they honestly boost my confidence. They're always helping me out, and they're always talking good about me, and I think that I was able to make a lot of three-pointers down the stretch because they were finding me, and I was just getting to the open spot.
And these guys were able to dig deep into the bench. And CTA Gold, they're known for a team that's been very short of bench. They only had 3 players coming in today. Was that part of the game plan coming into today?
Yeah, we have a really deep team. That's what our coach says to us a lot. So we just made sure to play really fast, try to push the ball, and ultimately use all of our team. Like they have a really short team, so we had to play with some pace, and ultimately it worked out in the end because they were really tired at the end of the fourth quarter.
Well, you know that this team made it to the OSBA finals last year, and they fell short to Wrigley College. There's a couple of players that know about that. They want to put that at the back of their mind. I mean, how important is that coming into this season? How much growth has this team has had since the start of the year?
Since the start of the year, man, we've had a little bit of a rocky start, but I think we're starting to come together now because we just stay connected, and we try to lead each other. We have multiple leaders on this team, including Dante, Ian, and a bunch of other guys around here. And yeah, I would like to hear what they have to say, honestly. Like, how do you think we've overcome the obstacles around the season?
Well, Dante Jones here, by the way, folks, and he was taking care of business in the back line today. So Dante Jones joins me now. You guys are strong, and how were you guys able to pull it off? Because it had to take more than teamwork to put it all together, right?
It's just like staying connected, like being a team. Like this team is deep. There's a lot of like guys, so like I feel like staying connected and like being together is like a really big factor like towards winning.
Finally, to you guys, and you can speak loud as you can. Super Sunday, Patriots or Seahawks? Come on now. Oh.
Patriots, come on. You already know Patriots. Come on.
It's Patriots and Seahawks, but the one thing for certain too, there are a lot of questions asked on Super Sunday. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? The main question was Hodan Prep versus CTA Gold. Who'd you got? But tonight it was Hodan Prep that took care of business by the final score of 93 to 86. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Good luck the rest of the way. Congratulations.
Yeah. Shout out my guys. Shout out my guys, man. Shout out my guys. Clap it up. Clap it up.
Team effort, that's all that it takes. And don't forget, in a few weeks, the OSBA Championships will be coming to Toronto. That will be on the weekend of the first weekend of March. And these guys, they prove to be an ultimate threat here tonight, coming out of the OSBA West Division. Again, the final score, 93 to 86, Hodan Prep over CTA Gold. A big thank you for everybody involved in the broadcast this afternoon. We will see you down the road. And now for everybody here, remember, they're playing sports out there, so you be one too. This be Aaron Sanders saying so long from Hodan Prep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, gang. Appreciate it. Dante.
We built this for Canadian Hoops fans. From rising youth talent to Team Canada stars, follow it all in one spot. Talk hoops, share takes, earn points, and unlock exclusive rewards all in one place. Score a trip to watch your favorite Canada basketball athlete, sign gear, exclusive merch, and VIP moments with your favorite players. From every province, for every player. This is for us. It's easier if we just show you